Hi, we are Sierra Vila, Clemente De Luca and Julia Ranzenberger, and today we want to share our idea of all-inclusive tourism with you. We wanted to create a concept which didn't just combine, but above all benefits the three branches: economy, ecology and hospitality. And within this presentation, we would like to show you how we did it. It all started when we took a trip to Genova. We stood on top of the lighthouse and looked down on the port from this bird-eye view, and we saw especially one thing: gigantic cruise ships. The idea of Dock 6 was born. When we were asked the question, how can you implement hospitality into the Port of Genova? We thought, well, guess what? It's already there. Cruise ships. And why should we compete with these gigantic floating buildings when we can just use it for what it is, a hotel on water?
But what are they actually doing at the port? We looked into their profits, both at sea and at land. As you can see, at sea they actually do make a profit, mostly from the onboard purchases, as the tickets are mainly used to run the ship. But at the port, they do nothing. This is why we decided to place our project in the dry docks, in order to reverse this situation.
So what actually is a dry dock, and which kind of role does it play in the Port of Genova? A dry dock is a basin that can be drained of water to allow the inspections and repairs of a ship. Well, of course, this is not the only research we have done. As you can see here, the dry docks in Genova have a long history. They were first built in 1889 on the initiative of Erasmo Piaggio. Then, after that, the Bank of Genova managed dry docks. The last and one of the biggest dry docks was built in 1962. The company Ente Bacini has been operating the dry dock since 1925, which is quite a long time since the last dry dock was built in 1962. The dry docks 1 to 4 have become cultural assets of the city and mostly cannot be changed. But now the city has presented a new structural order of the entire port with a big effect on the dry docks. As you can see on the left, marked in orange, you see the 5 big dry docks, as well as some important bus stops which are located close to the dry docks. On the right, you can see that the location of the dry docks is mostly managed by the company Ente Bacini, marked in purple. The dry docks all have different measurements for different purposes. One of the dry docks, dry dock number 1, even has a roof to lift over a ship. The dry dock number 4 is the biggest of them all, with a total length of 267 meters. It can lift a capacity over 40 tons.
The dry docks are accommodating cruise ships for their inspection and maintenance. This is required every few years, and the ships will mostly have some work done on the lower hull or propulsion equipment. Sometimes their stay at the dock is also used for structural changes and refurbishments on the interior, but it happens quite rarely. In this case, the crew will remain on board to help out. So, the ship gets repaired, which is great, but what does that actually mean for the environment? First of all, the dry docks of Genoa are provided with a really good filter system, actually the best in Europe. But we still need to have a quick look into the process, which every ship has to pass, even for the smallest repair. During the vapor and sanding process, fouling and old paint is removed from the vessel. These particles have to get filtered out of the basin before releasing the ship back to the ocean. Okay. Let's get back to the start. By the way, we know that this should be about an architecture, but just wait. Why are we actually doing this? Well, our purpose is to create an incomparable experience in consideration of environment and the local economy. Therefore, we are using the existing structures and parameters of the port to build an exclusive property for both the locals and the tourists. In the end, our architecture will be combined with the cruise ship's hospitality.
Dock 6 can be divided into 2 different parts, what is on water and what is on land. On water we have, obviously, the ships, the hospitality. On land, we have our infrastructure and Ente Bacini, who is in charge of the dry docks, but we'll explain this later. Thanks to the brilliant combination of land and water, ships not only stop experiencing economic losses, but start making actual profits at the dry docks.
This is the Costa Luminosa. It is one of the cruise ships which use the dry docks of Genoa. Here we see deck 5 with all the different room types. For our project, we decided to use about 100 rooms, which suits the capacity of our amenities. We have selected a part of the ship to center the rooms in one area. This makes it easier to access for both the passengers and the staff. Another example like this is the ferry Mega Express 1, another client of Ente Bacini's dry docks. In this case, we can see 2 of the 3 passenger decks. Here we have decided to take about 160 rooms, which are most likely single bedrooms. Every other area of the ships than the one which are marked are closed for the passengers. You heard the name Ente Bacini quite a lot now. This is because we chose the company to be the operator of Dock 6. Let's quickly explain how everybody profits from this symbiosis. The first option shows how the cruise ships could actually earn something while staying in the dry dock. Tourists will rent a room with an all-inclusive package from Ente Bacini. A percentage of this goes to the cruise ships company and the rest remains with Ente Bacini. They will operate most of the stuff and amenities. The second option excludes the cruise ships and allows Ente Bacini to earn even money without the overnight tourists. With a membership at Dock 6, you can use the facilities, which includes fitness and spa areas all year round. Also, the restaurant and the bar with the ocean view are open for everyone all year around.
So, what else do we need besides hotel rooms? We need a lobby, restaurant, bar, fitness, spa, sauna, steam bath, storage, kitchen, toilet, showers, etc., etc., etc. We need a lot of things. But how can we translate this in a spatial concept? First of all, we looked at the Port of Genova. What kind of shapes are located in the Port of Genova? What kind of proportions are located in the Port of Genova? If you take a close look at the port structure, you quickly realize that sizes, shapes, and proportions almost quite look the same. For instance, containers. They are square-shaped and have a lot of edges. They are always arranged in a specific order and stacked pretty narrow. You'll probably never see a container bending over another. It's mostly always shaped in a specific order. The port in itself is structured very well. Every element follows the next and can be reduced or added. Overall, the spatial system of a container port and, in general, the port is very organized. So, how can you access the site and how is the architecture arranged? What spatial room does it have? The Port of Genova is very big and stretches over several kilometers. Unfortunately, the dry docks are located where the public people cannot enter or find it quite difficult. We created access from the main road to the dry docks through a passenger bridge. Our project is based on the new development plans of the city, which includes an even bigger dry dock and less land. As we mentioned before, shapes and proportions play a major role in our project. We created modules which are based on the measurements of overseas containers. We arranged the missing amenities like containers, which are stacked in the port. Carried by columns, the modules start at a height of 7 meters. And the result of putting shapes and proportions of the port together and stacking them is Dock 6. Dock 6 is a linear, square-shaped architecture and is created by modular elements. It can be added or reduced. Because of the columns which have been created to not disturb the industry below, the architecture becomes the perfect height to operate as a terminal for the cruise ships.
To access the site, we had to think about a safe way for the passengers and tourists. Therefore, we decided to build a bridge which is lifted 7 meters from the ground. Why did we do this? Well, because we didn't want to disrupt the daily operations at the dry docks. Remember, we are right in the middle of the port and work is constantly being done here. With the height of the bridge, even large vehicles can still move around on the side, and it also ensures a great view. The passenger bridge is built with the same measurements than the architecture and can be assembled simple. It basically consists of a base, a roof, columns and railings. The trail starts at the beginning of the port and will also allow locals or day tourists to take a stroll. Small platforms which are added to the bridge invite everyone to rest and enjoy the view over the port.
As you can see here, the Dock 6 project guarantees a secure pathway from the city to the dry docks without touching the industry. The architecture distributes over 2 floors. First, we analyzed how much spatial room do we need for each amenity, as well as the restaurant and the lobby. We arranged the modules in a linear order to guarantee an open floor plan. You can enter the architecture either by the passenger bridge or a cruise ship. The lobby is located at the entrance on the east facade, facing the passenger bridge. As you enter the lobby, you can see right through the room to the sea. The restaurant is structured linear all over the facade, facing the sea. A long bar as well as a lounge area is included in the restaurant. The terminal, which leads to the ships, is located inside the architecture. This guarantees a secure and private entrance as well as a fast pathway to the lobby for any information. Going up to the second floor by stairs or an elevator, you enter the fitness area, which spreads over the east and west side of the architecture. Changing rooms are located in the north and south sides of the building. Both changing rooms include a private sauna with a loggia facing the sea. Other amenities for persons who want to enjoy the wellness area are included, such as a steam bath or a therapy room. The outer facade modules differ in material, texture and transparency. For instance, rather private rooms become less transparent facade elements than public rooms. As you can see here, the restaurant on the first floor differs to the loggia on the second floor, which is made out of wood panels. The fitness and restaurant area enjoys a panoramic view of the port and the sea.
Now we have the hotel rooms and a building with all amenities. But we are still missing something. Actually, the whole city of Genoa is missing something. The access to ocean. Let's be clear. The water of the port is not really inviting. It's polluted and you really shouldn't take a swim there. But that's such a shame. The locals as well as the tourists should be able to take advantage of the geographic location of a Mediterranean harbor city. So we thought about a way to make it possible. With the use of a filter unit, we will be able to filter out all the toxic substances. In this way, we can build a pool which is filled with clean ocean water without the use of chemicals. And that's what we call a swimmer's paradise. A 1,350 square meter marine water pool divided in 3 different zones. The entry area allows kids to play safely and invites the guests to just relax in the shallow water. The basin has a slight slope until a depth of 140 meters. The sports pool has a length of 445 meters and is 3 meters 50 deep. The whole area is surrounded by a terrace. Guests can lay down in the sun chairs or relax around the pool. Bar service as well as lockers, changing rooms and toilets are provided here.
The distribution core goes down to the industry floor, which connects the pool to the architecture. This maintains a secure pathway from the architecture as well as the passenger bridge to the pool area. The different depths of the pool allow all the pool visitors to enjoy their own swimming ways. You of course can also just enjoy the sun or perhaps the view on the pool from the restaurant or fitness area. Altogether, Dock 6 creates the perfect day trip for either travelers or locals. It merges industry with hospitality and hospitality with locals and profits all points of views. This is how you can imagine Dock 6. We hope we could give you an impulse on why not using cruise ships. And even if not, let's try to swim in the port of this beautiful city and make everybody happier. Thank you for listening and letting us show our project Dock 6.